Hugh Fundenberg, medical doctor out of Europe, 12th most quoted biologist to date. When this guy speaks, people listen. What did Hugh Fundenberg say? World's leading immunogenicist. Flu shots can increase the chances of a person getting Alzheimer's disease by 10 times compared to someone who doesn't get the flu shot. When the world's leading immunogenicist says that, you listen. Common sense people listen. Okay. Alzheimer's brains have more mercury. Research has found twice as much mercury in the brains of those who died of Alzheimer's as people who didn't, as control groups. An area of the brain that deals with memories and sensations had 4 times the mercury as controls. Conclusive evidence, guys. And I hope by right now, and I'm seeing some head shaking, that this is factual evidence, guys. We're quoting noted MDs, PhDs, neuroimmunologists, guys. Facts from the CDC, the World Health Organizations, the National Institutes of Health. And they all say the same thing if you know where to look and you know what's going on. Now, statistics are one thing, you know. And we can talk about 1 of this and 1/10 of 1% of that. But the reality of it is, guys, that when you find a man who at age 36 was told that he has early onset Alzheimer's, who's now unable to speak or to feed himself, who lives in a nursing home, whose daughters find some solace in old home videos that show a fun-loving father that they wanted to remember. This guy's about my age. I got 2 kids, same age, same basic age as what this guy has. Prime of his life. Within months of vaccination. That's Mark Pretty right now. Can't feed himself, can't barely talk, can't hold his kids. This is a statistic, guys. This is an acceptable number. Novartis told the Associated Press that the vaccine will likely be on the market before the trial finishes. And they were right. When is a drug ever put on the market before the safety tests are even finished? And not even that, gang. It's not even the same drug that they got around to even testing. This angers me. This angers me, guys. This upsets me to the point where I don't know what to do about it. Children and pregnant women first. Right? It's like Titanic is sinking, the boats are sinking. Women and children first, gang. Right? Children, pregnant women, adults with chronic illness, and healthcare workers will be first in line for the vaccine. Health and Human Services Secretary. Parents and legislators should be asking themselves right now, why are children the first to get experimental swine flu vaccines? Who's asking these questions, guys? This is what we're doing here. Why are the vaccine makers granted immunity from lawsuits? Because did you realize this? That Mark Pretty and another lady that we're going to talk about here in a minute, and for the countless thousands that are currently being injured from this, cannot touch the manufacturers of these drugs. They're immune. Paul Pencock, medical liability expert. If you're going to ask people to do this for the common good, then let's make sure for the common good that these people will be taken care of if something goes wrong. That's not what happens, guys. They're immune from lawsuits. They're immune from liability. 1976, 1 person died as a result of the swine flu, yet 4,000 Americans claimed $3.5 billion worth of damages. And there are currently lawsuits still pending from the 1976 swine flu fiasco. Tom Jefferson, MD. In the worst case, the vaccine will totally be ineffectual. In the best case, few decent studies that exist show the vaccine mainly works with healthy young adults. With children and elderly, it only helps for a little, if at all. I can't see any reason for it. Well, you know why it may help for those strong young adults? It's because their immune systems, God willing, are strong enough to fight that vaccine off, so that all of a sudden they're not going to even get the swine flu anyway as it is. Those who are most vulnerable in our society, the elderly, the children who are getting this shot are being damaged right now. Should you subject yourself and your family to a poorly tested vaccine filled with toxic chemicals against a condition that is usually mild? Remember, there's no proof. There is no proof. There's rational, semi-rational arguments in saying if we give somebody a weakened strain, they may produce antibodies so they don't get a stronger strain. But there's nothing definitively proving it in their own medical journals that say this is actually the way we're going to go. The data doesn't even support it, guys. There's no proof the vaccine will actually be safer and more effectual than no vaccine at all. Swine flu is no more worse than a mild flu. Again, get the picture. The majority of those that get the swine flu recover from it completely. Swine flu vaccine is untested, unproven, as in the case with all flu vaccines. Swine flu vaccine contains dangerous chemicals linked to serious neurological and immunological illness. Last time we had a swine flu scare, the vaccination harmed more people than the actual flu. Summarizing, when it comes to the flu, in most cases, the flu should run its course. Suppressive care, antibiotics, fever reducers, and other drugs and vaccinations can make the illness far worse, even life-threatening. Use natural methods to help develop a more robust immune system, right? What are we talking about, guys? Outside in, suppressive care, or letting the God-given ability you were given, you were granted from the moment of conception to finally just express itself and to do what it was designed to do. Through chiropractic, traditional osteopathy, homeopathy, acupuncture, naturopathy, avoiding refined and non-organic foods. The flu, for the most part, is temporarily inconvenience that leaves the person even less toxic and healthier person in its wake. Avoiding unprocessed and non-organic foods, avoiding excess sugar consumption. What are we basically saying, guys? The best flu prevention is to try to just live a healthy lifestyle. You know? But you know what? There's not $10 billion to be made in 6 months for people being promoted to live a healthy lifestyle. That's really the fact that we're saying here. Flu, for the most part, is temporary inconvenience that leaves a person less toxic, healthier in its wake. Marcel Proust, noted historian, author, lecturer, dunces the books to his credit, says what? Even the wisest of doctors are relying upon scientific truths, the errors of which will be recognized within a few years of its time. Bloodletting was an accepted medical procedure as of the 1960s. It was still in medical books, okay? Vaccination, the logic, the science behind it, it actually stems from the 18th century, okay? It's still in use today.